What's up, guys? It is Brianna Mulligreen, co-owner of DesignForDollars.com, coming to you live from my 6-year-old daughter Luna's room again. I'm starting to like this spot. Just got a little corner here with a nice blank background. So listen, I've got a crazy day coming up here, a crazy afternoon, I should say, of appointments and things. But I wanted to check in on you guys and talk a little bit. Let me move this out of my way. Talk about some unique strategies for finding cool brand ideas, even just for exploring niches, maybe for finding product ideas. Like if you're like, hey, Bree, like I kind of want to get into some physical products too, right? Even though we can pretty much print just about anything, but you know, like a long-term goal with print on demand, if you really have a brand that takes off and you're selling a lot of like a core number of products, you're gonna want to import it. You're gonna want to increase your margins, or at least find a supplier of some sort, even if it's domestic, so that you're not just making a couple of bucks per t-shirt, right? Over the long term, you could make, 250% ROI by actually getting them wholesale. And that's something you can actually do through some of the print-on-demand facilities. So, hi, Helen. Helen's here. Our girl Christina from D4D is here. I'm super excited too. Both Christina and Helen are helping to lead Brandability, which launches January 7th. I am so pumped to help you guys with brand building. I'm not kidding you. I've constantly got ideas, like so many ideas. There's just not enough time in the day for me to implement and execute them all. But I've got some amazing brand ideas. So if you're kind of like, I want to do it, but I don't really know what to do, we're going to help steer you guys in the right direction. We'll let you know if we think that your idea is a viable idea. And if it is, we have a lot of connections and resources for helping you to like up your game, no matter what your idea is. So let's just get to it. 2019 we are in, and we are talking about actionable strategies. I'm going to give you 10, even though I have about 150, 10 unique strategies for choosing niches, products, print-on-demand product ideas, wholesale, basically just generating brand ideas. Like, where do you want to go and what do you want to make? Okay, so number one is the Amazon movers and shakers list. One. This is so awkward here. Okay. So what you want to do, just go to Google and type in, you can type in Amazon movers and shakers, or you can go right to a category. Like I'm obsessed with clothing and with home goods, home and kitchen. So you can go over there, and what the movers and shakers lists are the top 100. You can go right through the top 100 ranked BSR, bestsellers ranked items. So what's that going to do? Well, it's going to do a couple of things. Number one, you're going to see what's selling well, right? And so you're going to get a good global view of like what's in. Like take a note, go into toys, go into the apparel, see what stuff is ranked in those top 100 and why. Is it a particular niche? Is there a particular saying? Then what you can do, and a lot of people don't know this, you're going to go to the side, and it may not work from the Amazon movers and shakers list, okay? So you might have to, after you've looked through it, you might have to just go to Amazon.com to do this. But what I want you to do is this little trick where you can actually search listings on Amazon that are no longer in stock. So sometimes you'll find them on your own, but after a while, those listings actually like fall off searchability, and also they kind of like become archived, and individual sellers can close them from seeing any traffic. And so what you can do is type in like llama, right? And start niching down on the side with filters and keep filtering down and keep filtering down. And eventually, when you filter down into a small enough sub niche, you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and there's a simple little checkbox there that it says also search out of stock items or something to that effect. That has provided me with some really, really cool product ideas and brand ideas to see what used to sell and what maybe why it's out of stock for a variety of reasons. Maybe it sucked, and I can now look at the feedback and the reviews that customers have left to see if maybe this is something that I could take on as my own. If it's a niche that I'm really into, this might be a cool product idea. The other thing, you can actually use that to gauge popularity, because sometimes things run out of stock because they're in limited supply and everybody wants it. Lots of things you can do. 2 other strategies when you're using the movers and shakers: click on the brand. So at the top of the listing will be the brand name. Click on it so you can see what else this brand has to offer. I also suggested you look at the feedback, look at the reviews, because not only can you come up with really good ideas for gaps in the market, like products that need improvement, but you can also come up with some really funny and witty t-shirt and pod quotes and sayings with comments that are made by these people that are super passionate about a niche, so passionate that they bought a product and left a review for it. Even if that review is negative, you can still glean a lot of information from that. Okay, number 2. I always forget the name of the actual website, so I will get it for you, but you can do this without the website. You're going to go to Google, and you're going to enter in a string of search terms. And you're going to enter in site. Here, I'll just show you. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to spy on competitors or potential competitors, okay? So if you're like, listen, I'm really crazy about organic baby apparel, right? And so what you can do is go to Google, and I'll find the direct website link for you guys when I can. There's an actual Shopify, like kind of like a search engine, where you can go in and you can search all of the other competing Shopify stores that are utilizing or ranking for that same keyword. And so there's a lot of things you can do. You can spy on them to see what they're doing right. You can spy on them to see what they're doing wrong. And the point is, you actually want some competition, unless you are going to be like kind of like the first to market because you want to help a really, really underserved population. You want to see a little bit of competition, because then that's a good gauge of popularity. And it's another route to go. Strategy number 3. You guys need to get comfortable on Instagram. And you need to start doing a super deep dig on the social media platforms like Instagram. They're not just for social media. They're not just for marketing. They're amazing search engines and amazing tools for spying on your competitors, also for identifying keywords, also for taking a look at what's hot. So start, when you're starting to uncover brands that you're like, ooh, I kind of like their thing here. I kind of like what they're doing. Now go over to Instagram. Start to dig around on there. Use this tool too. Which, by the way, that's one of the cool things you get in Brandability. With all of us leading you guys, is we all use all sorts of cool tools. Some are free and some are paid. And so you get to benefit from all of this stuff. So like what I'm showing you now, these 10 strategies, like I said, I have like 100 others. And so you can pick and choose what works for you. And of course, after this, I'll pop over to the Brandability group and we're going to talk about some of these. So anyway, use Webstagram. Webstagram will help you to check out some of the really hard-hitting, powerful hashtags. Hashtags are like keywords, right? And there's a lot that that should be learned about Instagram. But one of the most important things is a point I want to make about it when you are doing your research. Just because it's a good hashtag, meaning millions of people are using it, doesn't mean it's a good hashtag for you and your brand. So for instance, if I keep hashtagging everything four-wheeling, that's not really niched down enough for me to necessarily get active buyers. And so what you want to do is you want to start seeing which of those hashtags you can sub-niche down into and get tens of thousands of people who are following very specific tags for specific reasons. So maybe four-wheeling t-shirts is actually a better hashtag for me to use, even though only 20,000 hits are bringing that back versus 20 million, because there's a better chance that I'm going to get conversion and activity by using a more specific long tail hashtag or keyword like that. Okay, flash sale sites are really cool. So I'm going to give you one. Tanga, because I used to be like addicted to Tanga. Way before I got into Amazon, and then of course Merch by Amazon and Pod myself. I've always been a shopper, and my mom raised me like knowing how to shop and find good deals, and so as soon as I got good online and proficient with surfing the internet, I always like to check out these flash sale sites, and there's a lot of them. Tanga's a fun one you might not have heard of, and you'll find on some of these flash sale sites, you'll find private label products, and you'll find pod products, and just good ideas on things that are trending. And sometimes it gives you good ideas for things to stay away from. So like when I work with clients, they'll, sometimes they come to me and they say, Bree, I'm obsessed with doing X, Y, and Z, right? And they've got this product in their head that they're like, oh, I have to make it. And then we start looking at it and we realize that everybody and their brother is also offering that product, and that in fact, there's really not a lot of room to make any money. And so it's an exploration process, but you can learn a lot about things you should and shouldn't focus on by looking at some of these flash sale sites. Number 5, you guys can see more. Local brick and mortar. So here's what I want you to do with local brick and mortar. If you're in a city or even a small town, so I'm in Fredonia. It's a bit of a college town, but sometimes we get some really cool, unique shops and things in here. So there are a couple things you can do. Number 1, poke around in some of these places. If they're a successful local business, then chances are they or some elements of their business would also be successful online. See if they have an online presence. Then what you can do, one of two ways. You could actually work with them to build their brand and help them with your e-commerce experience. Or you could just glean a bit of knowledge from poking around their business and their site. And primarily, if they're a brick and mortar store, you might be able to get some ideas for, hey, these guys are making, I don't know, some kind of cool soap, right? And they're only local. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe if I created my own version of something of this and launched it online, this could be a thing. So that's a really easy, simple way when you're poking around town, shopping or whatever, like take a look at these boutiques and these really specialized niche stores for some cool ideas. Number 6. It's getting too low here. All right. Move a trend. What the heck is that? Listen, with traveling as much as I have over the last couple of years now, I go to so many different areas, and particularly if you're super well traveled, like internationally, and you see things in geographical areas where you're like, oh my God, that is so freaking cool. Everybody at home would love that. Then use that as an idea, right? Like if you visited Seattle and you were in some cool part of Seattle and you were in a coffee shop or whatever, and there was some amazing type of coffee there that is not available on the East Coast. And you're like, dude, this needs to be on the East Coast or something similar. You can take ideas like that, and with good validation, you can actually take a trend like that and well, first of all, bring it online. And second of all, give people access to it that wouldn't normally have access to it. Here's another example. Um, when Nate and I were married, my husband Nathan and I, we spent 2 weeks in Jamaica for our honeymoon, and so we got to really see all sorts of areas. And we were in a resort, and then ventured off for some like day excursions. But there were a lot of really cool, unique crafts and things that we encountered that in my head now, and in cultural ideas, that's a brand. That's a brand building opportunity right there. And those of you that have followed some of my previous interviews know that our long term goal, in retirement, would be to be able to spend a good chunk of time there and maybe even have a home there. So we loved it there. And I've been back. I went with my family when I was young a couple of times as well. So. But anyway, use that experience and leverage it. If you're finding some kind of a food item, or if you are, let's say you are a transplant from a certain area, right? Like either maybe you lived in the South and now you're in the North or something, right? There are a lot of unique things that you bring with you, and so you can make that realization, like, oh my gosh. Let me give you another example. I'm from Western New York. We're known for a bunch of stuff here, right? We got fish fries. We've got Anchor Bar wing sauce. What do we got? AJ's Texas hot sauce. What do people always ask for? Beef on weck, rigatoni noodles. Like, there's all sorts of things that we're really, really known for. And there are sayings that only resonate with us in our area. Those are brand building ideas. Bring them to the masses and get them online. All right, number 7. You may have heard of this, Reddit. Also, check out Reddit list. Hold on. What's up, guys? Jameson, how you doing? And Ryan, what's up? Hey, I feel like I haven't seen anybody in forever. Where's everybody been? All right, 7, Reddit. You've probably heard of this one, redditlist.com. Check that out too. But the secret to Reddit is finding cool forums on Reddit. Is that what we call them? Or subreddits, I guess. So obviously get into ones that are related to your niche, or in a niche that you're interested in, because you can find a ton of ideas just by browsing through. But the ones that are really, really cool, I have a whole list of them, but I'm going to give you 2. One is, you may have run across this one, Shut Up and Take My Money. That one's cool. You'll get lost there for a while. And then here's another one. Where did it go here? Weird Stuff on Amazon. So there's a whole subreddit for weird stuff on Amazon. And so, that leads me to something else too, to circle back around to the Amazon. So when you are on Amazon, one other little research technique, when you are looking at whatever, a product, print on demand t-shirt, just scroll down to the bottom and use the left to right scroll or arrows and look at what other customers bought with this, and then go down and what other customers are viewing. You will find a ridiculous amount of information by just hitting those 2 spots. So So look for customers also bought this and this. So they'll give you like 3 products, the one you're looking at plus 2 others that tend to be bought with it. And then go further down and you'll usually get, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 different suggestions based on what other customers have viewed. And so you can find some really, really cool stuff that way. All right, number 8. Curation sites. So these are kind of like Pinterest. Let me see here. Good ones that you guys haven't heard of. You've probably heard me mention Wanelo and Tumblr, Fancy, and Polyvore are some that you might want to check out too. And so these are basically very visual representations or collections of things that people think are cool online. Is, I guess, the easiest way to describe that. And they're kind of like the path less traveled. They're not talked about as much. You'll notice though with some of is it YouTube? I think when you upload to YouTube, I believe. All of the social media share links that pop up that allow you to share real quick. I believe for YouTube, Wanelo or Tumblr, one of the two might be some options there. But check out Polyvore, like a poly bag, Polyvore. Okay, product review blogs. Ooh, you'll get lost on these. They're awesome. I feel like I'm back in my classroom with my little dry erase board. It's been a good 8.5 years since I've been in a classroom teaching. So, okay, product review blogs. So here's what's cool about them. Not only are they great for research, but you could actually make your brand a product review blog. So you would create a blog and you would review products and you would use your affiliate links for your income. And you can add other things in there too. You could add some complimentary print-on-demand products and things of that nature. Let me give you 2 that are cool. I actually shared, what was the one that I shared with you guys a couple weeks ago? It was something along the lines of shut up and take my money. It was like, crap I buy or something like that. But there's a lot of really cool product review blogs out there where you can just really get some really cool ideas. I actually shared several ideas yesterday that I found on fucking Box. And so you're going to find really cool physical product ideas there, print-on-demand product ideas, brand ideas, niches you didn't even know were a niche. And then the other one that I stumbled upon, actually I found quite a handful of them, which if you're in Brandability, I'm going to go over there and share the rest of them with you guys. Word, W-E-R-D is another one to check out. And listen, you're going to have to set a timer because you're going to get lost on them. They're cool. They've got some really cool ideas. Let's see who else is joining us. We've got Bill. Bill, what's up? Happy New Year, Bill. Okay, and then lastly, finally, okay, wholesale. Wholesale sources are really, really good sources for you guys to think about brand building ideas, niche ideas, product development ideas, because they already have their finger on the pulse of the market. And if you go with wholesalers that are tried and true and have been around for a while, or websites where you can kind of vet the manufacturer or distributor, then you can really come up with some amazing ideas. And it gives you an idea of like, if you think you're creating something 100% original, well, like go to a couple of these sites I'm going to give you and see if what you're thinking about already exists. And that could mean it just makes it easier for you, depending on what that thing might be. But a couple of them, trade shows. So I'm very vocal about the fact that I love the ASD trade show. That's the one in Las Vegas. It's huge. They do it twice a year. I've typically gone in March, and they hold it again in August. Just in March, weather-wise, it's more comfortable, obviously, there. But you can get some amazing ideas by walking the floor of that place. And not only like physical products, like I keep saying, but print-on-demand products, because there's so much crossover now, guys. We can print on almost anything. So so the two are very closely tied. It just kind of depends on which route you want to take in your journey and when. The other places, the big, you guys are probably familiar with Alibaba, AliExpress. Those are two. Alibaba is more for like large quantity orders when you're ready to manufacture and import and private label. But AliExpress is kind of like, I would say, the easier way to order smaller quantities because you're going to pay more for those products. But if you want to just get, one or two to take a close look because you think it might be giving you ideas for something you want to do, you could do that on AliExpress. Oberlo is another place for some great product ideas. That's a Shopify app where you can scan what kind of products are already offering there. And on some of these websites, you can see the number of times people have placed orders for things. And so you can get a gauge on popularity and trends and things of that nature. So I think that's 10, right? We got them. There's so many more than that. And don't let this list get you bogged down. It's not meant to do that. You only need to go through one of them and you could come up with an idea. This is just for when you're like, look, I want to really get out there and find something that's going to be really good and have a passionate audience that really wants to buy. And I don't know what to make them. Well, these are the types of things that you do to start the brainstorming process. And so with that being said, if you're ready to build your personal brand, let's do it. At D4D, we are launching that January 7th for $497, guys. Obviously, that's an investment of money. I'm no stranger to not having the money to invest in something. My journey, I started with nothing, not a penny. I was negative in the hole, major credit cards when I was young and some things outside of my control. And so listen, I get it. So when you're ready, you'll know when you're ready. But for those of you that do have the capital to invest on taking that next step, it's a bargain. $497 to build your brand, a sellable asset on Shopify, working with Duncan, Aaron, Christina, and I and the team, and Helen and Ryan. Guys, you have a mastermind of some major players. We all have success in e-com. We've all done different things to get us where we are, and you guys have us at your fingertips and at your disposal through Brandability. And so this is something we normally do one-on-one with one of us, with one client for $5,000 because you are legit building a business, a sustainable thing. Whether you want it to be a side hustle, whether you want it to be a full-time income, that's up to you. It's your race, it's your journey, you decide that. We're just here to help you guys get the absolute best resources, best connections, and choose the best route for you. And if you caught Aaron's video that we released yesterday, it was an absolutely amazing explanation to that, guys. This is your journey and this is your race, and we are all about helping as many people as we can build flexible lifestyles like this. It's a Thursday at lunchtime in the Eastern time zone. I'm getting ready to work out after talking to you guys, after teaching. Like, I'm doing what I love. My daughter is in school. If we want to, in the spring and summer, if we want to take off and travel, we can. It's just that flexibility that we want you guys to have too. And whether that means you love your career and you just want to do this on the side so you can, kind of take some time away from your career from time to time, like, that's cool. Just know that we're here to help you guys do that. We have lived it. We are living it. This is our current lifestyle. And for me personally, I want to help as many people as I can do this because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be in a career that is feeling like it's suffocating you. I know what it feels like to have to, like if you're a teacher on Sunday night, you're like, oh my God, my lesson plans are ready for the week. You're like trying to pump yourself up and motivate yourself and decide whether you should just go to bed at 7:30 so you can just sleep and not have to think about it, or whether you're going to be up all night anxious because your alarm's not going to go off in the morning and you got to drive an hour to work. So I don't have to think about that kind of stuff anymore. I can think about my family. I can think about travel. And I can think about doing what I love, which is teaching and running my businesses and building and flipping them. And so that's what we're doing with Brandability. And we'll talk about that too. You can get into this thing fully expecting to just grow it for 18 months and sell it. Or you could be in this to learn it, and maybe you'll sustain this one for a couple of years, and then you're going to rinse and repeat, build another one and flip that one. But the point is, it's worth way more than $497. January 7th, price immediately is going up to where it should be. And we consider you guys our family, our beta users, action takers, the people that want to make stuff happen, the little crazy mavericks like us. And just know we've got your back, and we're here to hold your hand through the whole process. All right, we're not going to let you go off on your own, like floundering around trying to figure out what the hell you're supposed to be doing now. There are plans in place and support in place, and we'll be there for you guys. So anyway, that's Monday. I'll pop in the next couple of days to help provide more information about what exactly the program entails. Just know that I'm excited. I'm full of ideas. I'm ready to help you guys make it happen. There's nothing I would love more than for all of us to be able to have a meetup at some point and be like, yeah, we're all doing it. We all have this flexible lifestyle. We do what we want when we want, and we're really good at it. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. If you have any questions for us, hit us up at d4demail@gmail.com. Definitely join us for Brandability if you're ready for that. And then if you're catching this on Facebook, please like and share with others that would be interested in the content. And then if you're catching this on YouTube, you better punch that bell and subscribe, like, comment. I guess that's it. So thanks, guys, for tuning in, and I will talk to you later.